video, I'm going to be showing you the way to accurately, efficiently, and properly measure both dry and liquid ingredients in the kitchen. I recommend that you watch this video 2 times. The first time you watch should be to get the main ideas, to get the basic ideas of the techniques and methods that we use for each measurement technique. The second time you watch it, you should complete your kitchen measurement 1, 2, 3 sheet. This is going to be where you record each step, so when we do our measuring lab in class, you're prepared and you have all the information you need for each step. Of course, if you want to watch the video more than 2 times, please feel free to. You can watch it as many times as necessary in order to understand the processes and techniques of measurement. You can also pause it, rewind it, and replay any sections as you need to. The first 2 sections of the video you're about to watch include silent demonstration. That means that you won't hear me talking, so it's especially important that you pay close attention and watch the moves that I'm making in order to prepare to measure. Those 2 sections are going to be broken out into 3 steps. Think about what you saw me do, and you will write 3 steps that are necessary in order to prepare to measure. After that, you'll hear me talking, and I will guide you through both steps 2, that's for measuring dry ingredients, and step 3, measuring liquid ingredients. This sheet will be very important for you to be able to come in and be successful in our measurement lab. You may wonder what the purpose of the wax paper and the scissor and pencil are during the measuring lab. These are going to be where your ingredients go, because we're not making a recipe, we're just preparing and practicing our measuring skills. Our wax paper, again we have 2 sheets. One of them is going to be divided in 4. So the scissor is used to cut your wax paper into 4 pieces. This will be used as a place to put your small ingredients. Your baking soda, your salt, and your baking powder. You'll have 1 extra because we only have 3 small dry ingredients, so you'll have an extra in case you need it. The large piece of wax paper is for our largest ingredient. That's going to be our flour. My pencil comes in because I'm going to label my wax paper for each ingredient. Flour, baking soda, salt, I'm going to abbreviate BP for baking powder. Once you're finished labeling, your scissors and your pencil can be put away. Now that I have all my supplies out and my wax paper cut and labeled, I'm ready to start my measuring techniques. If you take a look at your recipe sheet, you'll notice we have 4 dry ingredients. Dry ingredients are ingredients that have a powdery or grainy texture. In this case, our dry ingredients would be flour, baking soda, salt, and baking powder. Other common dry ingredients could be rice, could be sugar. Those are most of the common dry ingredients that we would use here in Family and Consumer Sciences. All of the dry ingredients are measured using the same technique. Let's take a look at our dry measuring technique. There's 3 parts to it. Starting with our first ingredient, which is flour, take a close look. Watch the technique that I use to measure out this ingredient. Again, there's 3 parts. Try to see if you can spot the 3 different parts of the measuring technique. Okay. That's number 1. Here's number 2. And here would be number 3. Let's see it again. 1, 2, and 3. The technique that we use to measure dry ingredients is called dip, level, pour. You'll often hear your teacher referring to DLP. That's how we abbreviate dip, level, pour. Let's see it again now that you know those 3 steps. The first thing that you want to do is dip your measuring cup into your dry ingredient so that the measuring cup is completely filled and mounded over the top. You should see your ingredient mounding over the top of your dry measuring cup. Using a metal spatula, you'll do your leveling right over your container of whichever ingredient you're using. When you have leveled out, you're ready for your pour. And you'll pour it out onto the wax paper that's labeled for your ingredient. So there's my flour. I had 1/2 cup of flour. I use a dry measuring cup for my dry ingredient, and I want to check that I make sure that I have the correct amount that I need. I see here for sure that it says 1/2, and I'm good. My next dry ingredient would be baking soda. Again, it's a dry ingredient, so I'm going to use the DLP technique. I'm going to dip, level, and pour. I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'll check and make sure that I have my 1 teaspoon. I'm correct. So I dip, making sure that I have my measuring spoon overfilled, mounding over the top. In this case, I can use the box itself as my leveling, as the flat surface, to get that measuring spoon completely filled and even with its surface. And then I can pour onto my wax paper designated for baking soda. After baking soda comes salt. Your flour and your salt are kept on the counters in your kitchens, and the baking soda and baking powder would be found in your small ingredient bins within your flour cabinet. If your canister has a scoop inside, take it out and put it away while you do your DLP. For salt, my recipe tells me that I need 1 tablespoon, so I'll have my tablespoon measure. I've checked that it's correct. Again, I'll dip. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my measuring spoon to be mounded over, for there to be plenty of extra so that spoon is overfilled. There's no top of the box for me to level off with here, so in that case you use your spatula. Level and pour onto your appropriate wax paper. Scoop goes back in if you have one, and top goes back on. Last but not least is my baking powder. My baking powder, I need 1/2 teaspoon. On the top of your baking powder, whether you have a canister like this or a yellow one with a plastic top, will come right off, and you will have a surface again that you can use to level. Think about the 3 techniques that I use. My DLP. There's my dip. Again, take a look. It's overfilled. Level on the cap and pour onto my wax paper. This is the proper procedure for measuring a liquid ingredient using a liquid measuring cup. A liquid measuring cup can be plastic or glass, and it has a specialized design that makes it perfect for pouring liquid ingredients. It has a handle, and it has a spout for making pouring out the liquid ingredients neater and easier. Liquid ingredients would include common kitchen ingredients such as milk, oil, or water. When you're measuring a liquid ingredient, there are 3 ways to ensure the accuracy of the ingredient that you're measuring. The first way is to make sure that you have chosen the correct measuring cup for the job that you are doing. In your kitchen, you will have 2 different sizes of measuring cups, one smaller and one larger. Here's the way that you know which one to choose. If you are measuring an ingredient that is 1 cup or less, you would want to use the smaller measuring cup. This is a 1 cup liquid measuring cup. If you have an ingredient amount that is more than that, you would use the 2 cup liquid measuring cup. There are even liquid measuring cups that are more than that. Once you've made sure that you've selected the correct size of liquid measuring cup, we're ready to get started. In our measuring lab, we're going to be using 1 cup of water. Watch carefully the procedure that I'm going to use. The water will come directly from the faucet. I'm going to identify the 1 cup line on my liquid measuring cup, or whichever line it is that you need for that particular recipe. You'll turn your water on and fill until it appears to be reaching the line that you need. Again, I need 1 cup, so it looks that I'm approximately at the 1 cup measurement. Here's the second way to ensure accuracy in your liquid measuring cup. When you want to check your measurement, you need to put that measurement or your liquid measuring cup onto a flat surface, such as a tabletop or a countertop. The third way that you can ensure accuracy in your measurement is to check that measurement at eye level. This is something that you're probably very familiar with from science class. So I will go down so my eyes are level with the measuring cup line. I'll bend at the waist and check that liquid measurement cup. When I go at eye level, I'm getting a more accurate reading of the measurement itself. I can see when I check at eye level that I'm exactly at the 1 cup line, so my measurement is correct and I'm ready to add it into my recipe. After all your ingredients are measured, they need to be put back into the canisters where they came from. This is going to be the job of one of the people in your group. Bring back out the canisters that you used so that your ingredient came from. And the wax paper makes it really easy for you to drop your ingredient back into the correct container. The wax paper gets thrown away.